trying to see if this thing is coming at you with a hostile intent, or if there's anything about it that just gives off that feeling, a vibe, I suppose.
Anything familiar or like just a guttural reaction or like this doesn't like
Roll me a flat
I don't know.
d20.
Flat d20, that's also fair.
Yeah, but just for clarification, do you know this is nothing? You've never seen anything like this before, so this is, for the most part, this is completely new.
That was a 5.
Oddly enough, you don't feel anything, and you were feeling, the area around you a minute ago. You could smell the sunflowers. You could feel the dampness of the, it would have been late night, cold air, and as soon as you turned and saw this figure, all of it was gone.
Leah just kind of I'm imagining like she kind of turns to face this figure, so she kind of pivots her body into kind of an alert position. Let me see. Leah is going to hesitate and kind of pause for a moment before she kind of says or does anything. Kind of waiting to see what this figure's intentions may be.
And it's slowly getting closer. You're looking at roughly 60 feet, and it is moving relatively slowly, just a gentle, almost less than a walk, just a simple stroll through the meadow. And you notice there's no trail behind him. Well, like this thick little patch of these sunflowers, the tall grass that's, just above your knee. But none of it's being disturbed behind him. You see him going through like it would be flattening it or moving it aside. But as soon as he passes, it looks like he was never there.
Undisturbed. Leah will kind of give it a bit of a glare, and she will ask, "Who are you?"
You're waiting for them to get closer. There's still a bit to go.
I'll, kind of. He's gotten.
You can scream it out at them, like if you want to keep distance. Currently they're like 50 feet. There's only, like I said, it's a slow process.
I mean, 50 feet. She'll say it at like a good volume, not like screaming it, but she'll kind of say it kind of loud enough that she would probably expect. I mean, I don't know, maybe this guy's deaf. I don't know. But loud enough that, not trying to be subtle about this, but to kind of just make sure this figure hears her question.
And you see him, and it's not really the only thing you can see. The only indication he gave that he reacted to you was a slight tilting of the hood of his head, and he seems to now be simply picking up the pace just a bit slightly, going in your direction. But now you've noticed the reason he's not really harming anything is because he's slowly hovering above the patch. You can see him now clearly. The rows behind him are very much scattered and simply passing through and over, not really damaging him.
And of course, Leah thinks to herself, "Fucking mages." Will not say that, but I assume it's their traits.
But you think it, and that's something that you can notice. Is your thoughts are louder in your head.
Louder. I'd also kind of like to go, I guess maybe not back a moment, but can I roll, I guess, insight to kind of see like what the kind of tilt in the hood of this figure? Is that just like a curious nod, or is that like he's in the zone, he's coming for me, or just kind of see?
You can try.
Is that hostile?
Sure.
Is it friendly? Is it curious? Insight.
Go ahead and try, yeah. Let's see what happens.
Unnatural 20.
And with that unnatural 20, it's tough. All you see is the hood, no facial, just dark, and if it wasn't for like the whole head tilt, you wouldn't sure if there was an actual head there. It's just nothing. Same thing behind his cloak. See him and the robe he's got underneath, but behind it, where you think you'd see some outline, even in shadows, there's just nothing there. It's too dark.
Too dark to make out. All right. And no kind of like.
Now he's at 30 feet.
Okay. Let me roll to check something. See what her reaction is. Okay. Leah, I think uncertain of kind of what this is and what's going on, is going to kind of start slowly stepping back and stepping away. Kind of in the
Straight backwards, you're like trying to move around.
She is she'll kind of look back behind her to kind of make sure, see what is kind of in the other direction, to make sure she's not
Now, is it like a complete head tilt, or does your body move like with you to do this?
This is kind of like head tilt, twisting the neck, and then kind of snapping back into place.
Alright, and behind you, you can just see some trees that lead, again, a bit further into this little patch of clearing, but on the sides you do see more of the forest closing in on it, but more of these odd flowers. And for a split second, you also see what looks like another moon. But then you snap back and you see the first, and there's no real way for you to know if it's the same one or there are two, because like you have to do a complete look, losing sight of one to see the other.
And there's like no way to kind of get them in the same field of vision. They're kind of on opposite sides.
You can try, but it seems like you gotta get out of the side of one completely to look at the other.
Did it seem like the edge of the forest had moved? Like it had like shifted a bit as well?
Not that you noticed this time, but you weren't really paying attention to the forest in particular. You were trying to get a look on what was behind you, if anything was.
Okay. And is the figure kind of, he didn't like lunge forward or anything?
He hasn't.
He's kind of like
still the same slow walking pace.
Uncertain of this phenomenon with the moon, do either of them seem different in any way that she can tell immediately from like what she had seen of both of them?
Are you looking back again?
She's going to look at the moon in front of her first and kind of study that one a bit.
Alright, make me a quick perception check.
Alright. That is a 14 total.
14 total. This looks like what you think a moon should look like, though it's the clearest you've ever seen, the biggest you've ever seen. But as you look at it, something just feels off. Maybe it's because you know that this isn't normal where you are or how you got to be here, but something about it seems off.
Yeah. Leah is unsettled. Kind of quickly, like, turning her head a little bit, keeping her eye on this figure. She's gonna kind of take a moment to look back in the other direction at the other moon and kind of...
You can't get both of them in your sights. As soon as you try to, like, as soon as he's at the edge of your vision, you can't see the other one, but you can see that it's just on the edge of that peripheral where you have to finish turning and essentially lose one to get the other.
Yeah. So she's gonna, keep kind of turn her head, keeping her eyes on the figure as long as she can, and then she's gonna kind of snap over for a second or two to the other moon, study that for a moment, and then snap back over to him.
Okay, then you'd be a quick perception check. This one would be a disadvantage because you're trying to do a snapshot of it before turning back.
Yeah, very quick look.
Again, the guy going on 25 feet.
16 total.
16 total. It's that same. See details, and this one, because of the trees in the way, there's a few branches that obstruct it just around the edges. Seems to be an odd bit of glow on the inside, almost like a light was being casted on it with a shadow. You're not entirely sure what to make of it. You only got a quick few seconds. Something. It's odd. Difficult to describe for you at the moment.
Interesting. Let me make another roll for Leah. Okay. How much? She's been kind of walking. As this is going on, she's been kind of continuing, stepping backward from this figure. Is the distance still at that 30 feet mark?
It's now down to 20 feet.
20 feet. Okay. Is the figure doing anything different at this point?
Still doing that slow walk forward, but you can figure it out by now that it's a weird kind of hover thing, because again, no trail, and that's just, you don't know if he's doing it to be weird or if that's just how he does it.
Floating forward. Leah is going to kind of call out again to this figure. Who are you? What is this? Maybe even a bit louder this time.
And this time you hear a response, but it comes from behind you. While you're still looking forward at this person that is slowly just walking forward.
She is still looking at that, but if she hears it from behind her, she's probably going to kind of snap back to meet this figure. Meet their gaze. Yeah. See where this is coming.
Now, do you snap just like the quick head snap back like last time, or do you actually turn?
Let me actually roll for this. Yeah, I think it's not a full turn, but she does definitely turn her body as well. Kind of keep 50% of the way, so in the direction, if it's leaning to one side or the other, she'll kind of try and keep the smallest angle.
And as soon as you do, you see that the figure, or something very close to what that figure looked like, is now in front of where you just looked. Again, with the second moon silhouetting behind him, the trees creeping on the side. But you see he's now he's giving you his back. But he doesn't seem to be moving anymore.
Oh.
And the response he did give you is, this is a message, thank you, a warning.
Can you repeat that again? I didn't get the last part.
This is a message of thank you and a warning.
Leah will kind of pause her retreat a bit. A warning of what?
You're still at the doorstep of whatever you believe this conflict is. You can turn away if you'd like, if you choose to. Would you like the message or the thank you?
Did he say the message or the thank you?
He's asking if you want the message in the fence.
She'll kind of pause for a moment. She's going to examine the second moon a bit more closely now.
And this time you can see it clearly, and it is in fact lower than the one you saw on the other side of the horizon, on the opposite side by the mountains. This one seems to be setting behind these trees. It's slow, but you can see it going, and you can again look at that odd kind of coloring, an odd kind of shadowing in it. And make me another quick perception check.
Would this one also be a disadvantage or just flat roll?
This one is not a disadvantage. This one, you are now looking at it constantly, like with time and focus.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. It's a 26.
And with that, as you slowly look and try your best to glimpse the detail, something happens, and it takes you almost a second to figure out what exactly until it clicks in your head as the moon vanishes for a second, then two, and then it slowly reemerges as you see this isn't a moon, this is an eye. As when it disappeared, it slowly comes back, parting from the center, revealing it. And you can see the odd reflection and discoloration as it is looking down, whether at you or the figure in front of it. You're not sure.
Okay. Leah, noticing this, hesitates for a moment. Kind of a little. Let me actually roll. Yeah, no, a little shakenly, kind of. Says, I accept this message.
You accept the message. You deny the gift.
I accept the gift.
And with an odd twist of his hand, you can now see it is not skeletal, but it is very much old and gnarled, and it is pale. And you see it twist almost in midair as the space and air around it begin to shimmer. And in front of you, you see out of the ground begin to blossom a small array, small entanglement of evergreen palms that slowly begin to climb until they begin to swirl around. And in the center of this strange little blooming is a lotus that seems to be in full blossom, but it is in fact still in a pod with the ivy wrapping around its side in the form of, I would guess, what might be a brooch of some kind. It seems to separate and be held aloft.
Is it kind of reaching out almost towards me? Kind of.
No, it is simply in front of you, just like within arm's reach, but it is being presented. It's not
Okay.
handed to you, but it's there.
It's kind of different. Leo will kind of, depending on kind of the height of this, I possibly kind of bend down and kind of onto one knee and kind of look this over for a moment. And would it be, I guess, pick it up or pluck it? I'm not certain which would be more appropriate, but she will kind of look it over and take it.
And as soon as you do, how do you pick it up?
Is it just kind of because it seems like this is a brooch?
It's a brooch, and it's you can see it's been clearly differed from the plant that seemed to grow up and make a small pedestal for it to be presented.
So it's not like attached.
No.
Leo will kind of again kneel down, kind of depending on the height of this. She will kind of reach out with both hands and kind of pick it up from both sides and pick it up with some care. Kind of examine it, twist it, kind of in her hands, kind of look it over.
And as soon as you do, you notice that it immediately seems to unfurl and go limp before it seems to immediately, almost on its own, wrap and crawl around your face. It's not tight or invasive, but it just seems to know where it should go, so it's being placed on you.
Okay. She kind of, I think, reels in surprise for a moment and kind of watch as it kind of moves up, I assume probably left arm, or whichever seems to be more appropriate.
So you're called away. One more time.
You're good. She'll kind of reel and kind of watch in a bit of surprise as this brooch figure, this kind of climbs up, I assume, one of her arms to the purple.
It's essentially right on your wrist, and it just furls up just the way it was before, and it seems to almost kind of stabilize and look like almost. It looks like it would be for example, like a watch almost, but seems to be thin, match what you're wearing right now pretty well. And as soon as it tightens just a little bit, within your mind flashes exactly what this is and how it works.
Okay.
And I just created a new little, because I realized this would have been way more helpful when we were doing the shopping and the other stuff, to just have a place to describe when you guys obtain items, so you know what happens.
Okay. So.
And boom, lotus ring.
Lotus ring. Oh, okay. So it's a ring. I see. Okay. Okay. Then it kind of goes back each day at dawn. Kind of with this flash of what this does, kind of in her mind, she kind of looks at it in appreciation for a moment and looks back up at this figure and says, "Thank you. This would be very helpful. What is the message?" And her gaze will kind of bounce between this figure silhouetted in the moonlight and bouncing back and forth between that figure and this giant eye in the sky. Does it seem like a certain type of eye, like a human-esque eye, a fish eye, tiger eye? Probably not.
No, that you can see it, but you can just see that it's, now that you know that you believe it to be an eye, you can almost see like the almost minute movements it makes as it focuses in on, you think maybe you or the individual in front of you, or maybe just the trees in the meadow and the path that's behind you. But the figure, once again, does the thing with his hand, and you suddenly begin to see the memories of everything you did the last day, shattering the stones, the chains, your friend who went and did the one thing that your employer asked you not to, and grabbed the tree.
The tree.
Yeah. and the odd transformation of the tree, the obelisk, the guardian, the spirits that were gathering around to go through the ones who resisted the consequences of the portal being damaged.
The obelisk sinking to the ground.
Yeah, the obelisk that slowly sunk into the ground and then was essentially covered, and we almost, like, it looked like it was locked in place by the tree that twisted around it. And the guardian that now seems to take their post up yet again. That place was one of many, but it was one that was sealed away.
It was for
many. Sorry.
She'll kind of question. It was for bridging life and death. Kind of in a questioningly tone. It's like, is this correct? This is what she has picked up on.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that first part. You said it was made for death, or what would you?
She was kind of questioning after he kind of referred to that spot, one of many. She'll kind of question. They are made to bridge life and death.
That is one of its uses, and such sites have many forms. But the powers that attempt to operate and manage them now are convinced their way of doing so is correct. If you continue to aid, to involve yourself, you too will soon be educated. You will soon make a choice. If this is what you choose, we may give you aid if you call us.
So just to recap to make sure I'm catching it all, he's saying that if we choose to kind of aid in, or if Leah chooses to aid in kind of maintaining these,
he's letting you know that whatever beef is going on with one group and the other, and whatever this has to do with the island, if you're choosing to get involved and eventually probably going to have to choose a side, whatever this guy is or whoever represents seems to be indicating that they're willing to back you on that choice. For apparently what you did at the...
For what you did there. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to back us. Leah would kind of question, is there someone you wish me to back? Or is this, in maintaining this peace in the island, you will assist us? Basically, he's asking, is this you're going to back us if we, side with somebody, or is this you're going to back us kind of if we choose to work?
We will offer the assistance we can if you call on us for the purpose you call upon us. But with every choice, there is...
You cut out there, I think. I heard For every choice there is, and then you cut out.
Sorry, just getting a call.
Oh, no, you're good. Oop. All right. All right.
Okay, back to this. For every choice, there would be a repercussion. And we will ask to dictate your choices. You did us service. We both thank, offer the gift, and the warning of what you may be stepping into unknowingly. If you knowingly walk this path, we can only offer you guidance.
If we choose, sorry to repeat that. If she chooses to walk this path, they can only offer her greatness. Was that what they said?
Guidance.
Guidance. Okay. Leah will kind of nod to this figure. I assume he is still standing back to her towards this eye in the sky.
Yes.
Okay. Leah will nod and kind of quickly say, I accept. Guidance is at times the most valuable tool and gift that can be given.
Then, one more piece I can grant you. And you feel again that coin you grab, that you look at.
Pull out of her bag, yeah. She'll kind of examine that. Tyler, I don't know if you're
And
saying...
hello?
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Sorry, let me repeat that. He's telling you that there is one source. This is the source of information. You figure out its mystery. But with caution, ones who operate with it are no friend.
They use this as a symbol.
For themselves and the one who commands them. He is not of the island, but recently he has become older, brasher. This is a smaller foe, gestures. You wish. You may find a thread or two that may connect you to them and their actions, but the choice is ultimately yours. Please extend the gift and our thanks and the message and warning to the others.
This is all much appreciated. I received this from the one I've recently worked with. I will be on the lookout for any dangers that may be presented.
Ask where the acquired may assist. And with that, you see that when the eye once again begins to close and all the light that illuminated this place flowers, the meadow, the trees, all begins to go black. And as you're waiting for it to open again, it doesn't. And that's when you open your eyes.
Okay. Interesting.
I was half expecting you to ask for a name or anything about this will now be quote unquote mystery guy.
I actually was thinking that I was gonna leave off the interaction with that. I don't know if you want to. I didn't realize that we were. Could I have asked before things, or maybe even as things were fading out? Wait, what do I call you? Who are you?
No response.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Leave it to Leah to make things more complicated than they need to be.
But yeah, no, you wake up and it's still on your hand. And you actually notice, when he said gift it to the others, there's a few of these. As the band itself is a single vine, but there are a few of them on your wrist. But you know that a single one of them is just a single vine that has the bow on it.
How many do I have on my wrist?
You currently have 8.
8. All right. 8 of these. And I assume she remembers somewhat loosely everything.
What happened, and as everyone does begin to wake up, you will all notice that there is an extra individual in the camp that you did not know or see last night.
Fun.
So, how does everybody react to this mystery person just chilling at your campsite, just watching y'all?
If this has all just taken place, Leah probably may even be one of the later people to wake up. So she's.
Is this worse? Is this mystery person me, or who they were seeing, or who Leah was seeing? In
Mystery person is you.
That's you.
Definitely you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or is it? It is.
Well, that depends. Do you guys see this individual and recognize them?
Do I recognize? Probably not.
Oh God.
Shall I describe
Kaylin
her?
wakes up half asleep, doesn't even realize there's another person there.
Well, right where you left the food the night before, Kaylin, there is a young woman sitting there, and she is overall humanoid, except for she has the ears, the tail, claws, and the eyes of a mountain lion. She's dressed in fine buckskin, just nothing but a shawl, a sort of shawl or collar with fringes, and a skirt with fringes and beads and shells. She has countless bracelets and beads around her neck, and she has fine blue geometric tattoos zigzagging on her forearms and around her legs. And she's just sitting there very calmly, but there's a bit of caution in her eyes as she watches the camp wake up.
Is she sitting there crisscross?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll because Leah did sleep outside. Did Kaylin, did she sleep inside? I forget where.
She slept inside.
Okay.
The same room that they had last time. She just assumed that was her room again.
Fair enough. I'm gonna roll to see if how aware Leah is. That is a 10, but with plus 9 perception. It takes probably a good minute or so before she kind of snaps back to reality. But unless somebody else has noticed her in the meantime, she's just gonna have a reaction to. Does anybody else notice her before Leah does? I'm gonna take that as a no. Leah, what is Leah's reaction? Leah's just gonna kind of sit up and sit against this tree that she's kind of camped up next to. Kind of look around, examining camp. I assume meet eyes with this new figure, and just kind of not really reacting all that extremely, just kind of go, "Hi. Who are you?" Asking that a lot today, I think.
And she will slowly stand up. My name is Nashoni.
Leah kind of a bit more kind of got her kind of feet pulled close to, like one of her feet kind of pulled close to herself, kind of ready to get up, but not quite getting up yet. She'll ask, "And what brings you to our camp here, Johnny?"
And she'll pause, look about the camp, and then back to you, Leah. There are many things that bring me here, but I am here because some of you are new to these shores, are you not?
Many of us are. Myself included.
I see.
Well, perhaps not freshly new. I have not been here.
And I want to know who you all are. I want to understand what you are doing here. My people do not know that I am here yet.
I can wake up our fellow travelers here. We are traveling for a short period of time. A few of us will be heading out together, but many of us will go our separate ways. I recommend you come with me. I want to... Leah's not certain if this is a good idea, but she's going to go ahead with it anyway. I want to check in with you with someone before the others wake up.
All right.
Leah will stand up and grab her things, kind of gather them all together, just in case. And she is going to kind of do a kind of like a finger to her mouth and kind of a symbol of kind of quiet, not a dramatic one, but and she's going to lead her new friend or companion into this rundown tavern, and she's going to head to Kaylin's room.
And you do so. I rolled for everyone else. They were asleep except for one noticeable chuckle as you do look back and you do see Mr. Green.
Mr. Green!
Enjoying this little...
Mr. Green.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he's just sipping from his flask, just looking at all this. And you notice him giving just a look at both of you before he seems to look up at the side of the roof where you again see Mr. Purple just... It's that weird Terminator 2 like look out protocol he did like overnight where he just didn't move and just looked back and forth and around. You can clearly see that he sees you, this new person, Mr. Green, and everyone else. Doesn't give a shit.
He's kind of watching, just not really caring.
Either like the worst lookout, or this is not registering as a threat or anything that's important enough to wake anyone up.
Oh hey, look, another rando. Don't know what's up with him.
I mean,
Leah will just kind of...
I look on my list. She's not killed anyone yet, trying to eat anybody, or making annoying noises while you sleep. No list checkoff, so she's good.
Hasn't stolen anything, hasn't drawn any penises on everybody's faces.
That's not on the list. She does it, she's good.
Leah will just, like, shoot up a quick head nod.
To who?
Mr. Purple. To Mr. Purple. As he's...
he will catch it, and he will return the gesture.
Alright. We have an understanding. Leah will continue
all the while
to...
while you're leading her through this tavern, she's just touching the walls and looking about in wonder and confusion.
Yeah, no. Never seen anything like this before in your life. These kinds of structures, you can immediately tell, are not natural in any way whatsoever. Like, none of this exists in nature in any way.
Right.
Yeah, I rolled to see if Leah kind of took note of, like, kind of this wondrous look, and kind of as they enter through the kind of hole in the wall, I assume, that's kind of where they're entering, and heading up. Were you upstairs? I think you were upstairs.
Yeah, I was in whatever room Min put me in.
Okay. Leah is going to kind of mention, or kind of speak to her as they're kind of heading inside. You haven't seen a tavern, have you?
What is a tavern?
This was a building made to house travelers coming from place to place, give them some place to stay while they were on the road.
Ah. It was once a very strong hut, I think.
You could call it that, I suppose.
I have seen many of you who come here on your large boats. I've seen many of you in huts like this. Does everyone live in a house as strong as this?
Perhaps not quite the same as this, but similar. We're going to be traveling around. It sounds like you have perhaps duties to get back to, but there are many places such as that where you may be able to see people out and about. I don't have a map, unfortunately, but kind of scattered to the west, east, and south of the island. We have a few. I suppose cities may not register the same to you, but many houses and homes and buildings of all sorts gathered together, and many people living in the same. I assume Leah probably finishes this as kind of they approach Kaylin's door. Leah is going to give a soft knock on Kaylin's door. I have no idea if she's sawing away or if she's, already up and down.
No, she is, she's not sawing, but you could definitely hear the soft sound of snores through the other door.
Fair enough. Through the other door?
Through the other side of the door. That's
Okay.
different. I can talk.
Oh, you're fine. I was just kind of wondering for a moment, through Min's door? Are you snoring for Min? No.
I think you'll hear a very muffled, just a few more hours and I'll be up.
Leah, let me see what her reaction is with this. Yeah, she'll knock again, bit louder. Not trying to, wake up. Hopefully, just the person on the other side, not anybody in a nearby room.
You hear a very, cut off snore as she is awoken up. What? Yes?
Kaylin, we have something we should discuss. Perhaps a few things, and I can get you more of that coffee drink if you get up.
Yeah, wait. Coffee? You hear instantly perk up.
She liked that yesterday.
You can come in, the door is open.
Leah kind of opens up that door, and kind of she'll stand open and kind of stand kind of gesturing for I'm gonna be asking this, I'm sure, over and over again,
that's
and maybe
okay.
send
Nashoni. Yeah,
Nashoni.
I can break it down phonetically. I'll do that for you guys.
Nashoni. Okay. And she'll kind of gesture for her to enter into the room. I'm actually gonna roll. She put that together. Okay, she put it together.
And yeah, Kaylin
Kaylin?
is sitting there on the bed, stretching out her arms, her hair a wild mess.
Unkempt. I guess
Good morning, Mrs.
curious.
It was white? No. I forgot the names
Mrs.
already.
White. We met before, I believe. We can get into that a bit more later. This is someone that, well, was camped up outside of our camp, curiously enough. Right around where that food was, if I remember correctly. Did you enjoy that?
And Nashoni will smile. It was very good. And she'll look to Kaylin. Thank you for leaving that for me. It was unlike anything I've ever had.
I know, the food yesterday was incredible. And then her eyes will finally land on Nashoni and then go wide a little bit because she was definitely not expecting that.
Yeah, Leah is taking note of any reactions. Is there any recognition here?
Do I recognize either Nashoni or any symbols or markings or clothing on her?
Well, if you want to give me a quick, your choice of a history or just go for a straight intelligence.
Oh, that's a 19 plus 1 for history, so a natural 20.
And Finn, you can definitely now remember, this is not a place you yourself have traveled, but you've heard of it. It's pretty deep in the island, up towards, from like where you're imagining that new serene is at the bottom, and you know the left and the right from there. This would be up towards the center, more towards the right. A little bit closer now compared to where you are to where you were. And it's very, very much pretty well hidden. It's a really big hike to get there. It's close to a few of the sides of the mountains and a few of the other places, but it's very, very nice. Views, good fishing, a lot of game, and a few other and one of the few places that does pretty decent and constant trade with the rest of the other villages. But you also know that because of that isolation, they've not had to deal with hardly any of the settlers that have come onto the island so far, as they've mainly only ever existed on the edges and only barely poke into the center of the island. So you can get that your new friend, if she is from where you think she is, she's probably going to have a bunch of the same questions you have, but not that many people around her to give her answers.
It's okay, I have books and books on them now. Her eyesight.
You are the expert. Immediately put on
Absolutely.
glasses and say, I can totally answer that now.
100%.
Oh God, now I have the image in my head of that we're gonna come across something. Nashoni is going to have a question. Kaylin's gonna give a wrong answer, and then Leah's gonna give, where the fuck did you learn that? It's not called a dingle hopper.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a boomstick. Just listen.
Yeah, it goes boom, and it's a stick, clearly.
I mean,
It even makes the sound.
Yeah, what else would it be? Why would they lie to me?
you don't eat this kind unless you're really sad. I'm sorry, that was dark. But it was right there.
But no, as Kaylin looks over at Nashani, she's going to first be surprised and then smile warmly, because it's somewhat of a, not familiar person, but familiar people. And she will give whatever it is that passes as a traditional greeting from her tribe to her. You're a long way from home.
I am. And I think you are a little ways off too, aren't you? And she'll, still smiling, but she'll look you up and down, a bit curiously.
Well, it's a bit complicated. I kind of have a home, but not really have a home. They needed my help.
Oh. How
Seems
are you helping them? Is it by being out here in the wilderness?
Well, it was by... Wait, are we allowed to talk about it? She's gonna look at Leah.
I think we have completed our job. There was no... Actually, let me also double check this because it's been a bit. Was there any like specific instructions, like do not talk about this? Because I think he also like said it's like, hey, if you want to share your identities, like who you are, that's fine. But I don't remember if there was like any NDA we quote unquote signed.
It was agreed upon that nothing would be revealed until the mission was either completed or failed.
Okay.
With the heavily implied failure would likely mean your death, so talk all you want then. But as of right now, yeah, mission complete, so you guys would be free to spin this tall tale as you see fit.
Leah kind of nods, says, we should be in the clear now that it's done.
Oh, okay. We were hired to help free a trapped guardian. And we succeeded.
You succeeded in freeing a guardian.
Strange tree in a clearing, rocks bound by
Make
chains.
a quick wisdom check.
Who?
I
Nishoni.
assume is that Nashoni? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this right, like Nishoni.
Yeah, Nishoni.
Shoni.
That quick old wisdom check.
Oh, okay. Just a second. Oh gosh, that's a 2 plus... Where is it? Wisdom is what it was?
Wisdom.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I got distracted a minute. That's 5.
Yeah.
That is a humble 5.
And with that, you're thinking, okay, they might be talking about something else, or maybe because the only guardians you know of, they can't be freed in prison. They're guardians. They have a job. They have a purpose. And what reason would they have to ever be, messed with? They can be dispelled, killed, but that would be awful for one thing, and also it would take something dangerous to do so.
Yeah.
They are likely talking about something else. It's just same word, different meaning. You're more than sure.
Well, that is quite the accomplishment. Why did you free it?
Because it was trapped. And it needed to be free to do its job.
A large portion of us gathered to complete this job. We are, well, you're welcome to try and get some answers from our employer. He's a bit of a stickler when it comes to that.
Who is your employer? Your leader?
Oh,
We
that
know
would be
him as
Mr.
Mr.
Red.
Red.
Mr. Red? Miss White? You all go by colors for your names.
Caitlin
was-
will nod.
A part of the job. My name is Leah.
Leah.
No. If that helps.
Very good to meet you, Leah, and you are... And she looks at Kaylin.
Well, I was Miss Yellow, but I don't know if we're still going by that, so, you can just call me Kaylin.
Kaylin.
I think at this point it is.
Hey Leah, can you take a quick look at your wrist and you'll notice that thing you've been wearing?
Mhm.
The different buds are beginning to... The lilies are all corresponding with colors you've heard before.
Oh. The buds are different colors. That is good to know.
Yours is white, but there is a yellow and a red and a blue, black and a brown, green and a red, purple.
I have some things to share, Kaylin, but perhaps that may be saved for another time. For now, though, I think I have something for you. And she will kind of wrap her fingers around and kind of try to grasp the yellow one of these vines.
Make a strength check.
Strength. I don't know if I'm supposed to just like pluck this off or if they need to grab it from my arm. If I don't want to give it to them, do they just like have to? Well, what's the situation then?
They
Do
cut
I
off
do I
your
have these
arm
on
and then
paper?
just take it.
Yeah, no, that would not be good. Let's see, strength. Oh, that's a 7.
And you prick yourself. Not enough to get damaged, but you notice these are in fact thorny vines. It's odd. Maybe thinking
Thorny.
brute force maybe not the way to do this?
So you're saying I shouldn't punch it? Does not compute.
I've always left the choice to you.
Should that just probably end with me punching myself? Which is also maybe not a great idea. Yeah, Leo will kind of like go to kind of, kind of pull at that, and she'll kind of like prick herself, and she'll kind of like shake her hand. It's like, okay. Kaylin, I have a flower
plant.
for you. Actually, let me roll something. If it's okay, no, that's. I was gonna say if it's like a 3 or lower, I was gonna punch it, but that's a 17. So
Oh,
on my
don't
arm here.
you? Isn't like I'm flattered, but I don't know if I can accept that.
Please just at least try poking it. I'm not entirely certain what I'm supposed to do with these. I'll explain later. And you probably would notice, she's kind of holding up her arm. You probably would notice these. I think actually, yeah, she's pulled up her sleeve. She's got the, these, was it 8? And then the ring around her finger.
Yeah.
And she's kind of...
Okay. She's gonna reach out and poke the yellow flower that she was messing with.
And as soon as you do, it unfurls, wraps around your hand and finger, and the information again transfers to you, but this time you can hear it in the voice of your guardian, explaining what it is. It's a gift. And that Nope.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay, sorry, things cut off there for a second. Last thing I said, just so I know where to pick back up.
That it is a gift, and I'm hearing this in the voice of my guardian.
Yes, there's a gift. There's likely a message to go along with it. And that this is the beginning of the work that needs to be done.
Oh.
But all of that in your head, though.
She will think a quick thank you to her guardian, because she's assuming that he's reaching out to her. And then just smile down at the ring.
Now, Shoni, I assume you also probably just watched all of this happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
And
if you guys
she's
did.
watching. wide-eyed and confused because I don't think she's ever seen anything like this before.
Not that you can recall, and it's weird because that thing on her wrist spread it out into this new individual's hand, put an odd ring on her finger made of a unblossomed lotus, there it is, of a specific color, and there are 7 more still on her wrist, while she also has one on her own finger as a ring that is yellow.
Interesting. Why is that there?
I guess if we're... Yes?
Oh, it's a gift from my guardian
Guardian,
to help me on my journey.
you think it's from the Guardian. Did you have the dream as well? Did you hear what...
I had a dream.
Was there a moon in it? She kind of says, like, kind of squinting over at Kaylin, like...
No. Maybe? She's thinking really hard. I was going somewhere.
Going somewhere.
Yeah, to the... Well, I have to go to the doors of renewal. That's where I went in my dream. So that's where I have to go again.
I see. I think we had spoken a bit about this yesterday.
The doors of renewal. Tyler, does that ring a bell to me at all?
Go ahead and roll me a history. There's no really memory roll, but history roll.
Okay. 19.
And with that, you can immediately snap back to one of the few times your mother told you a story, very young, about somewhere very deep in the island. There is a long valley served in this story, because this is more on the scales of an old legend, that supposedly in times of great peril, distress, or in times of the great change, one would need to visit the very center of the island. To do that, you must pass through this valley and reach the doors of renewal through the Heart's Gate. But we're told of a great pilgrimage that needs to be taken to gather the keys for the doors to open. But the story was not consistent with what these keys would be, what form they would take, or how they would be applied. But you do remember her showing you the one item she kept with her always until the day she passed, and presented it to your uncle.
Oh?
Oh.
Oh?
That was a key?
You aren't sure, that's just something she seemed to be holding in her hand, more simply examining it as she told the story, along with a few words of the story of the tribe that lives within the doors of renewal, that within them lies the very center is a great... Some stories describe it as a great lake, others as a massive valley within a volcano, a massive tree, and a specific selected group of warriors that live within there. But it's not known what they look like, who they truly are, how they're selected. Some rumors are that they are the best warriors transformed into guardians that protect the very core of Tier 4D on the island and are therefore sent out. Others believe that they are a separate tribe altogether that record the history of the island in its entirety but never venture out to try and keep themselves isolated. Other stories altogether say that they are a completely isolated species that has never exited the volcano since it was first risen from the ocean along with the island. That has been
Interesting.
trapped inside and is kept trapped inside for unknown reasons. The story often differs depending on who tells it.
So let me straighten this out. So there's the door of renewal, and this is to be opened with 6 keys in a time of great peril. I'm getting.
No.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
thought it was 2 keys.
Oh, why did I hear
There's
6 keys?
there's no number on the type of keys, only that they are
Oh.
keys, but no information on what they would look like, how they would be used, or where they would be.
Oh.
Ew.
And to
I thought
travel
my
to the
dream-
doors of renewal, you need to get through. Now, this is going off what she knows from
Oh,
her
okay, what
story. her
she
mother told.
knows. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is going off of the story you can remember from when you were very young. That to get to this door, you have to go through this unnamed valley, through the Heart's Gate, and that to access this place, keys would be needed, but no one never really specified how many, what they look like, what they are, or how they would be used. And then the other speculation of what the purpose was. Some say it is only done during a time of great calamity or like hardship or during a trial of some sort. And there's also the speculation of what is within them. If that is itself a place where you call upon guardians, champions of the island itself to help, or if it is a place that keeps such dangerous and powerful creatures locked away. There are a few other rumors as well of it being a secret tribe that never ventures out into the rest of the island that has been keeping it safe and keeping its history.
Mm. Okay.
And
Couple
the reason
things
you know
in
these
place.
versions is because your mother was not the only one to tell the story, but you always noticed that everyone seemed to give their own take on it.
Mhm.
You're not sure where they themselves all heard the story, as for the most part, how to get there and what essentially happens is more or less the same, but it's always when you get to the doors themselves and once it lies beyond them that the stories seem to differ.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is fascinating. Okay.
Okay.
And Nishani will look at Kaylin. Now that you have freed your guardian here, where are you going? Are
To
you
the-
seeking
to
the
the
door of
doors.
renewal?
Yeah.
Ah,
Can you briefly explain these doors? What they are? Why you're seeking them?
copy and paste what
Keep
Tyler.
talking.
Copy
I was
and
going to
paste.
ask, are you,
whatever
Yeah,
Styler
that's
just said.
which one of the two are you
Ditto.
asking? Is what I want to know.
Just in general, because these two are in the know, and Leah's not in the know, and she wants to be in the know.
Both Kaylin and Nishoni just start talking at the same time, giving their different versions of the story, and then they
Yeah.
all bubble blowing babies must be
One's
being
giving the
senselessly in the
story of like
bar.
a story, the other one's giving like the memories of an experience.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like it's like, no, it's like this. No, it's like this. No, you're
It's
wrong. No,
actually
you're
like
wrong.
this. And Kaylin's giving a first-hand experience of like, this is what the doors look like.
Actually,
There's this sandstone bowl. It
I literally
told
went there
me
in a
that,
memory.
yeah, like I was there. What are you talking about?
Many questions.
But I think even Nishani, as Caitlin's explaining the doors of renewal and what she saw, it does sound very much like a first-hand encounter of this, as if she actually has been there.
Speak as though you've been there.
Well, kinda.
What do you mean?
I think I was given a vision by the god of 1,000 faces. I think he is sending me on this journey.
Oh,
Leah pauses for a moment and asks, "This god of 1,000 faces are... I think I may have had a dream. I don't know who this figure was, but there was a figure that said that he would give guidance and assistance and, well, these," kind of holding up her arm again, if I helped and assisted. It
The
wasn't...
guidance was offered if you asked. But he
I
asked. He also said,
Okay.
"Do whatever you want, but these are your choices, and just know you're about to step into it. So, eyes open when you do. He doesn't want you blindsided."
Don't want to be blindsided, but here you go. Fair enough.
But to step
Basically,
onto the battlefield.
Leah is going to kind of explain kind of the situation and kind of update them on what she saw in her dream.
Oh, you may have had a spiritual visit as well by him.
I didn't ask until the very end, and at that point it was a little late.
But he said that you would have aid, and did he want you to join?
I had already requested to join for, well, my own reasons, but I suppose the rest of these are for our companions as well. I'm not certain if they will all be joining us on this, though. So, I suppose
it's a coincidence that I've met you two.
I suppose it was also a gift for what we did in that clearing.
Did you also have a dream?
Did you? Did you have an interaction as well?
And Nishoni will glance between the two of you. Not in the way that you seem to have. That man in your camp. The one who keeps watch.
The one kind of pointing up above us on this roof.
Oh,
And
Mr. Purple.
she will nod with a bit of apprehension in her eyes. If that is what he is called, yes, that one.
That's what we know him by.
Last night, as I was watching your camp, he spoke to me. And it was a frightful experience.
Did he...
Wouldn't trust him. Don't trust anyone with such a terrifying aura about them.
Did he say anything in particular of why he was being such an intimidating presence?
For one thing, his the sword on his back, it spoke and it seemed to say that I would be defeated. Unless it wasn't speaking to me.
Leah's going to kind of give a pause and look at the other two here. Perhaps this is a conversation best had finished elsewhere. Kind of pointing up again at the roof. I don't know if there are any holes in this room or in like this building that he may be like looking and listening through. But Leah's gonna kind of like point up like he may be listening. So we should maybe watch what we should say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you notice he's at the other end of the bar. He's grabbing coffee from a
I think
mug.
we're still upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's still there.
I just have a bar in my room.
You have a bar in
Oh, yeah,
your
no.
room. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, these places are big. These places are disheveled and there's a lot of knockdown walls. This is not put together place, but you can clearly see each other, and he just continues. And that's when you notice there's an actual like makeshift staircase to get up to the actual roof. That he's just slowly going up with like a cup of coffee.
So you could just walk up.
Very much can. You can do it fancy, or you can just walk.
I choose fancy.
I mean, depends. Do you tell him what he did last night when he to get back up there?
When Leah motions that he's going up to the roof, I think I will just stop there.
Perhaps a conversation best saved for when you may not be listening.
Indeed. But please, if you are seeking the door, I have my reasons for being here. There is tension between my people and the new people on our shores, and I do not want it to be there. I wonder if finding these doors, finding out what is beyond what any of us know, there might be something to appease both sides.
If there is danger lurking in our future, it may be our salvation.
That's precisely what I hope.
We should look into this. Perhaps we should see kind of. I believe this is a gift for completing our mission. So I suppose, and I'm actually going to check because I think I meant to ask this earlier. Is there a flower on here for Mr. Purple? Or I think you mentioned Mr. Red as well. Are there flowers on here for them as well?
You know, there's a total of 8. There's the 6 of you that participated and the 2 of you that were not there.
All right.
There is sadly no
What is-
flower for Mr. Green.
No flower for Mr. Green.
Dang.
What? He can have mints. I'm kidding. Or am I?
Hers is there if you want to give it to her or not.
Is Min up?
She's probably still getting her beauty sleep.
Probably not. Leah suggests perhaps we should finish waking up, ask and check in with our other compatriots, and I suppose see what they plan to do with their future. And I suppose, Kaylin, what would be our next goal? What do we think our next lead is? Should we head back to the city? Is there some place you wish to travel to?
We need
Begin
to
our
head
quest?
to the Door of Renewal. It's in the center of the island.
I thought we needed
Yes, but
keys to
We
enter.
need to
I see.
find 2 keys, but there's a village that might have some answers.
which one do you
Uh,
think?
I'm gonna mispronounce this. Daldor Hall? Is that right?
Elderhall.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry.
Close enough.
You tried,
This-
and that's
this-
what's in.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Trying. Half the battle.
Would this location ring a bell?
It would not. This is very far away.
Okay.
Not somewhere you've
Why do you
been
need to
before?
go there? No.
To see if they have any information, or if they might just have the key.
That would certainly reduce the amount of effort for this, but if somebody already had the keys, then would they not already have access to the hall?
Yes and no. You need a blessing to get in.
Blessing.
Whom?
The High King's blessing.
The High
Blessing.
King.
King. I see.
Or, you could be the High King, but I think his blessing would be easier to get.
Well,
I
unless you're
wouldn't
already.
be so sure of that.
Is he against such ventures? Is this
I don't know what.
for permission to enter the hall, or is this required to enter the hall in and of itself?
I think it's both.
I
This
don't
may
know
be
where he
something-
stands.
Check in on.
He may be very reluctant to give his blessing.
Do you know the current High King?
I do. He's my uncle.
Oh, so then we could just go talk to him. That makes things a lot easier.
I'm not certain.
Maybe. My uncle's a very stubborn man. Very cold one at times. I can try to speak to him. We can all try to speak to him. I've never spoken to him on this topic.
If you don't mind
I
my asking. Sorry.
Go
Sorry.
for it.
If you don't mind my asking, what terms are you on with your uncle?
And Nashoni will sort of pull her fringe skirt aside a bit and show the back of her calf. And the backs of her calves are marred with red marks. Something that you would see dealt by a switch.
Ah. I'm sorry.
I must It's not your fault, it's my own fault. My brother is next in line to be the chief of our village. And he and my uncle are close. And I've gone against my brother's wishes and my uncle's wishes in leaving our village to go observe the colonists, the settlers. It is our custom
You-
to whip the legs of those who leave without permission. And I've done it many times. I bear these with no ill will. But I know that there is ill will buried in them.
You do not regret what you've done. You-
Not one bit.
The way
I'm out to
things
support my
are,
brother however I can. And sneaking out and observing has been my way to do that. But neither my brother nor my uncle agree.
agree on. Sorry, just to get the context. Agree on what?
A method of peace with the settlers.
I feel for the predicament. I regret to inform you that while we come with no. Well, our nations from our lands are fragmented and divided in goals. I would like to say that we bear no ill will, but unfortunately, for some of them, that is untrue. Peace, I believe, can be brokered, or at least a more definite position in standing. Though that will be an undertaking in and of itself.
And because I know that not everyone on either side wishes for war, that's precisely why, if you will allow me, I want to go with you. Please let me help however I can.
Yeah, I think the more the merrier.
I see no issues there. We perhaps will have things to discuss about motivations, but I think the more the merrier. I think your help would be appreciated.
Will not regret it.
Just
And I believe that this is sent by the heavens. That you two are sent by the heavens.
Leah gives a
Quick
bit of a blank
clarification.
stare there. Sorry.
Now, quick clarifications. Heaven's not really a phrase that would be used more or less by you guys. More high
Oh.
spirits and higher planes. Heavens is
Okay.
more the word that
The spirits.
the high heavens is actually one of the offered translations by the theocracy. Because while some of them deny the religion of the God of Thousand Faces, others have taken to an interpretation of the same God simply in a different tongue, and that's one of the
Okay.
interpretations of the higher lands.
Well, and if she's speaking to them in their common tongue, anyways,
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
don't. You've not met anyone from
it indicates a
Talini.
higher power.
Essentially, yes, it's the same thing.
Yeah, that was a question I also had. Like, do we know the situation of like why there is the fact that we can speak the same language?
She's been
Oh,
observing.
she's currently, she's currently giving you like a very broken in some places, but very good common. But she has her own native language.
Kaylin's mingled enough with you guys.
Kaylin, she mingles.
She can very much take it back to like she could crack that as a, I don't know if I'd call it the old Cajun kind of twang to her voice when she wants to. but she can go fluent when she needs to.
But now Kaylin and Nishoni are able to talk without Leah knowing what they're talking about because they have their own language.
Leah is going to have to learn this language.
Welcome to try. It is not
secret
impossible,
code.
but it's gonna be a while. And gonna take. Hopefully, they don't give you misinformation. Because if you're just learning based off of them,
God, I'm only imagining like Kaylin's like, you said, I told you like this was how this is pronounced, but you actually just said you just called this diplomat a butthole, and he's just why
Kaylin snickering.
would you make me do that?
Oh, that'd
That
be
would-
funny.
Definitely be a way to get on her bad side.
Until it comes to
So
asking
now
for
that this
Uncle's
butthole's out of the
blessing,
way.
I'm scared.
yeah. Oh, you said you were looking for the Dorgrad. Wait, did you say the Dorgrad or the Dorgradulan for your kid? You're talking,
Oh,
are you
that
talking
was
about the
that
village or
was
the gate?
tongues to me. The village first, and then the gate.
Cool. Okay, so the village that you were told about is where the village chiefs gather with when they have a meeting with the High King, which is extremely close to the volcano, which is called because that's where you get to the entrance of the valley of the Dorgred, which is the Heart's Gate, which is the beginning of the valley, which leads to the doors of the.
Yes.
So
Originally, her plan before she found out she has a connection now to the High King, which is great, is to go to that village and see what she finds, and then go to the doors. But now she has a connection, so we could just skip that.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, no, that'll totally go fine. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure nothing could ever go wrong. Yeah, Leah is a little bit more pessimistic. So I suppose.
Yeah, let's gloss over the fact that your new friend that is your inn just told you that she was not supposed to be anywhere outside her village, being very far away from her village.
Yeah. Yeah, how far away? I mean, Leah wouldn't know this, but like, out of game, how far away is that village? I mean, I guess far enough that it probably, yeah.
Okay, they will likely have already they've already figured out that she's gone, or they're going to soon because it's a few days and no one's seen her.
Okay.
Oh, she got out again. Okay. Set out the dogs.
Yeah, no, it's more of the wait till she comes back, and let's see what the excuse is this time.
Greg, Frank, did you eat the sweets that she made for you? You know those have sleeping potion inside. Why would you eat them again?
Oh,
Guys,
gosh.
so when she leaves,
month.
you guys when she makes that stew and she leaves it for you on the far side of the fence. That's because she's going out the door on the other side.
I'm sorry, boss. It tastes really good.
No one's denying that. She's great at that.
I have
Also
no idea
smart at it.
what her skill level is there. Probably need to station smarter guards, if that's the case. I don't know if she's guarded either. That's just an assumption. I'm sure it'll be
Look, I'll put it this way. To get to her village, you'd actually have to pass through one other.
Yay! And I'm sure
Which
it's a
is, in
totally
fact-
friendly village.
No, it's the Heart's Gate. It's the village where, like, the chiefs meet with the High King, like when they need to either elect a new one or make some serious decisions. But that's all it is. It's the meeting place. They're never there unless there's a meeting.
Yeah, I guess this pretty much makes her the equivalent of a princess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. A step princess, but we'll get to that later.
separate.
I mean, that's all depending on who's in charge and how the thing works. Because technically, every chieftain is quote unquote chief/king of their own little village and piece of land, but they elect a high king. But that's never inherited via succession. It's always election.
But point being, if enough people die, you could be in line to the throne. It may be a lot of people,
Yeah.
but
I mean, you're always
And
open
I'm
to
sure people
challenge
you
for it.
don't-
There are plenty of like tribes that openly say like, "Hey, someone wants to be in charge." You know,
Alright,
like
fight me.
say when and where. Let's do this.
fuck you, fight me. Very nice. Yeah.
Unfortunately, her village is literally past that, right next to Hickman, but one of the furthest villages from it. So she's on the side that is in an active war that they are only just now likely going to be taking
Yay.
part of. Because that's the side that's going to fight. Other side's the side that's trying to get everybody to convert.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure nothing can possibly go wrong there.
Yeah.
Mhm,
I mean,
nothing.
where do you want to start first? The deadly pandemic that's slowly spreading, that's wiping out one continent. It's slowly coming into this one when they're trying to find a cure. There's the war started by one of them. There's the conversion trying by the other one. There's the new Serene that's slowly trying to just spread out and make some decent contact. And then there's the fact that half of the tribes are still undecided on what to do with the rest of you guys.
Yeah, there's kind of that weird dynamic where they're both the people here as well as the people from the old continent are both thinking that they have the claim and the duty to educate the other of the customs of themselves, and
No, the reason,
into
like
full
that, one of the biggest reasons that the Leme's here is because of an archaeological study that said that one of their quote-unquote saints and one of their oldest members, and like one of the first voyages, said that they came here like for their last voyage, and this is supposedly his final resting place.
Yep.
That's why the city is called Saint Matthias, because supposedly the Saint Matthias visited these lands, interacted with these people, and was laid to rest somewhere
Mhm.
here.
Supposedly.
That's what they say. Ooh.
Ooh. But yeah, I guess Leo will kind of offer and bring up. So, do we kind of looking over to Kaylin? Do we think that we can trust anybody to join us on this?
She'll look confused.
Anyone in this group?
Are you talking about inviting them, or are you talking about like?
I think we can trust all of them. They haven't given me a reason to not trust them.
Leah thinks back to the whole coin thing, and I still need to ask Mr. Red about that, but also just, again, this kind of goes back to Leah cannot just directly ask somebody. Oh, are you kidding? That's insane.
Then Nishoni will point up to the ceiling, the roof, and shake her head fervently.
Leah will kind of...
Now you look at the side of the window, and what you see is not so much Mr. Purple, but it's his blade that's coming out of the side and slowly looking at all of you. Before, a hand once again grabs it by the hilt of the face and says, "Stop doing that."
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Leah just
I don't
glaring
know
at
why
us.
I just picture with like cartoonish eyes staring through the window.
I know the pommel is like the design. It looks like it's a gem there of an eye, but it's a moving physical eye, and it's just looking specifically Michelle just still because you could tell that was the creepy voice in your head that said it wanted to eat you.
Crystal, I don't know. I think you got far enough to get this joke. Doc Newton. I probably not. I don't know if you watched Dynasty.
Nope.
Yeah.
Almost.
Creepy sword. I could see him. Maybe it's a demon trapped in the sword, giving it extra power.
I mean,
I could see him doing something.
you either have to find out or you're going to have to stay guessing forever. But either way, Michonne, you know well that this guy, well, his sword wants to eat.
Sword what?
Hungry?
It's the sword on his back that has like a living eyeball for a hilt that, seem to grow, like the blade itself seems to grow bigger with, black onyx glass technically for the blade. That's the voice you heard in your head that, made that less than polite comment about devouring you.
Yeah.
And then he had to forcibly put it back away. Because, he did have two other blades at his side that you could actually see. One was glowing, the other one was just almost like being swallowed by the shadow for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this guy's totally harmless. Don't worry about the dark sun or the shadow moving or the ominous red eyes whenever he puts his hood up.
Totally trustworthy.
Never. So there's my vote.
To totally sneak up on him and bless him and nothing would happen.
Leah kind of mentions, I think this may be something to undertake the three of us, and at least with the start of this journey.
And smaller numbers will mean that it's hard to track us.
Harder to track.
Anything should decide to follow us.
Easier to keep things secret. She looks over at Kaylin and she says that.
Oh, is this supposed to be secret?
Perhaps not a secret, but I don't think we should go, at least not in the cities of the old.
We don't know what forces could be working against us.
Indeed.
But it's for the greater good. Why would anyone be working against us?
Some
One
people
only
don't wish
knows.
to work with the greater good. Kaylin, there are many selfish people out there. They don't always see the greater good as the priority when they could rather help themselves.
She still looks very confused by that notion.
All about the great.
Okay, then, we'll keep it a secret then.
We can... Let's perhaps discuss if we're going to bring it up with someone. In general, it's mostly about not sharing it with people that don't need to know.
Understood.
Leah has a contemplative moment that she's going to have to explain a whole bunch of stuff like this to Kaylin, because she just is new to the world.
Do we have to use the names again? The colored ones?
I don't think so. Perhaps if you want, I think that was something Mr. Red had in mind in case we didn't wish to share those bits of information about ourselves. I think
Remember him explaining it was when we finish this, you never want to see each other again. You don't even know each other's names.
I know your face.
Or do you?
I mean,
Or
I'd be
do
afraid
I?
if you didn't know my face after you saw me. I'd be concerned about yourself.
Yeah, that would be a little
Do
concerning.
you? Surprise, disguise self.
Did you know you could put disguise self on a randomizer, so even you don't know what you look like?
Ooh,
That's
That's good.
interesting.
hide even from yourself. Okay.
Trust nobody, not even yourself.
It's the worst disguise. You hit randomize, you look exactly the same.
Why am I like this? Or better yet, like, if you don't know what you look like and other people see different things, and like everybody sees something different. So it's like, sure, yeah, I'm a dragonborn, totally. Oh no, I'm a dwarf. Never mind.
So
The
when
worst
should we
part of
head
that one
out?
is if you're a mixer.
Well, I was going to head out today.
I think
Um,
once we get packed up, if you wish to check in with some of our compatriots, I think I have some of these to disperse. She kind of holds up her arm with these those kind of vines wrapped around. And it seemed like you wanted to, if I'm not wrong, get to know a bit more about these people. Now may be a good time to do that.
I've only ever
Perhaps
watched
not.
them from a distance. A few farms. Farms are particularly fascinating. The way you carve such even lines in the land, with your animals pulling along those strange apparatuses, it's truly a fascinating process.
I suppose you don't have agriculture.
We have some, but it's not as tidy or as large an operation as we have.
I suppose I'll have to explain a bit of what we do with that. I do have a bit of knowledge, in fact. Saw a good deal of it when I was young, in my family's, well, home. But that may be a conversation for another time. This could be an opportunity, though, to
Then I would be honored to watch you interact with your comrades up close before we head out. But the sooner the better, I do think.
yes, we should leave and start on that today. And at a game, it is getting decently late. Do you guys want to round it off here for the day?
I'm good either way.
I'd be good either way, however you guys want to do it. Because everybody has woken up at this point and is essentially getting their breakfast. You guys are just went to go huddle up in her room.
Where is everybody?
Ooh, breakfast.
They're all in breakfast. They seem to have somehow found a way to get some of the good stuff from yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad we had this discussion in private, I think. I think that was a good call.
I mean, maybe some of them would have eavesdropped, maybe some of them would have been feared. Who knows? They might have had insights, disagreements.
I feel
They
like
may have not
Mr.
liked
Green, Mr. Red, and Mr. Green and Mr. Purple definitely eavesdrop.
Yeah, they just know. They know. Why do they know? How do they know? We don't know, but they know.
Don't know. But
They sure do know, though.
Do they know why they know?
Well, you can find out. There's one thing you know, though. For some reason, Mr. Green and Mr. Purple are upstairs on the roof just having a drink and laughing while pointing down at the rest of you.
You idiots.
That's fair.
Oh god.
Been listening the whole time.
Can't believe they didn't ask for anything more valuable than what they asked for. They're idiots. Oh well.
Caitlin literally didn't ask for anything. Woo.
She did not.
Just
Therefore, she
something.
got the default goodie bag, which is just a bunch of gold and a bag full.
One day she'll open that bag.
One
That's
day.
nice of
One
them
day,
to.
people ask like, "We need enough money to buy something super important, or like get the help of these mercenaries or something." Like, wish we had something to sell. You think this bag is worth anything? We should check this empty. Just unfold it and just a waterfall of gold.
Like, how much is this worth? Kaylin, we're buying loaves of bread.
Listen, if there's anything
That,
sweet in
or
there,
she does
she's
it by
willing to trade
accident.
it.
I imagine like it's either something like small, like we just need like a few extra, like 1 or 2 more gold to like even off this little bill, or we're trying to hire a mercenary company and you just dumped a pile of gold in front of them.
That tracks.
Like, but then you ignore the gold and like you say, this bag can hold a lot. Is it worth anything?
I am sure the bag is worth some good bits as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if you
Cool.
guys want to keep going or stay here, so you guys, you see the rest of your party, or traveling companions have in fact all woken up, gathered downstairs, and someone has brought forth a bit of breakfast where you stayed, or where you dined, or had breakfast.
Kaylin immediately lights up saying that.
Breakfast.
Food.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, everybody's down here though. Mr. Red, Purple, Green, Blue, Black, and Brown, as well as name for the old Lavender, and now with the 3 of you, everyone's here, and only only 2 of them notice your new friend. Guess who?
Mr. Green and Mr. Purple.
That's correct. They're the only ones who've noticed. Everyone else is just stuffing their faces. So she could literally sit down next to him and they just wouldn't bat an eye.
Man, Kaylin fits in so well with this group. It's scary.
She actually does. I don't think. I'm actually kind of surprised, like Mr. Brown and Mr. Black didn't, because I guess more Mr. Black, because isn't he a cleric with a high wisdom? Oh yeah. Maybe he just rolled
He
poorly.
is, but he is. Yeah, no, he rolled. He rolled 2. Oh.
Oh,
Not
yeah, that would do
great
it.
roll. Yeah, not the greatest rolls. Like beat a 10, not only the 18 and the 13.
Yeah.
What's that?
Uh,
Show's gonna be
yeah,
fascinated
no,
with their accoutrements, their
Shoni.
silverware, their food, technology,
It
the
smells
metal
great,
buttons.
but you don't
on their
recognize
jackets.
any dish of anything they're eating. The people there, what they're wearing, the ambiance, the atmosphere, the odd bit of music that seems to be coming from nowhere.
Mhm.
Just complete and utter culture.
The would just kind of go around. I guess would there be a check like is I guess it's just like this was the intention of kind of the cloaked figure to kind of have Leah give these out to everybody. Does it seem like she needs to? I guess does she need to give these out to everybody? I mean, is it an option that we could just hoard these for ourselves? Is this like they're gonna just like stay on her until they get on there and like I don't know. I don't know if there's any way she would have of answering these questions either. So she may just be left in the dark.
Last time you know that you just got their attention, held your hand close, they poked them and it went off. So you could try to replicate that, but however you want to do it. Or you don't do it at all.
I'm gonna poke the red one. Just real quick.
Okay, are you poking Mr. Red or the red? Like,
Sorry, the red
I'm
lotus
gonna poke the red
on
one.
her arm.
And by that I mean the person.
like
I'm
just
gonna-
right in the eye, goes like, "Ow! What the hell is wrong with you?"
I'm gonna grab this bull by the horns and twist him. And by bull, I mean red.
You know exactly how that'll end.
What if I twist him so hard he just passes out?
It's possible. You know, like you need serious strength to break open them anyway, but you know from now experience that they are deceptively sensitive.
Very sensitive. Which will be good to know if ever they come in conflict. Or if there is any situation where she's got to, torture / interrogate him. No, she's just gonna poke the red flower and see what kind of response it has.
No real response.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're just all gonna go to their respective people. Leah will kind of go around and just kind of like based off of kind of person, not giving really any explanation. I have no idea who will ask, if anybody's gonna ask. It's like, got a little gift here, just poke your color.
Half of them look at you like you're crazy, calling specifically for Mr.
Sounds like-
Black and Mr. Brown. Mr. Blue was going to ask a question until he gets smacked in the head by Mr. Green, and he just literally grabs his hand and like manually pokes his flower, and he gets it.
Leah just kind of gives a nod to Mr. Green's like, this guy gets it.
It was a stupid question, trust me.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a great answer. And that's basically the response that she's gonna give.
I mean, with
Oh.
that and the abrupt awkwardness of touching a random vine that suddenly wraps around your finger to give you a flower ring, they are
Flower ring.
divided up and dispersed.
All right.
The only one that seems to differ is when Mr. Red and Mr. Purple essentially go for their turns. He essentially shows that he already has one, not on him, but in his...
Like in his bag.
Yeah, so when he does essentially show that, he essentially taps the bud of the ring he has in his hand with the one that would have been around on the vine around your rose, and it kind of just attaches to the other one, or the band around your hand dies off.
Okay.
And as for Mr. Purple, you see that he just kind of taps it with his nail, and it just falls and dies.
Okay, just do both of them like wither up and die when the other pokes it, or
No,
do they
Mr. Reds actually took like the bud, like the actual flower
Yeah.
that would have been on the ring,
enhance it, and then Mr. Purple's
and like absorb it into his own ring. Like he had one
Okay.
already, and he seemed to like almost made it a little bit bigger. But Mr.
Mr.
Purple, yeah, no, he straight up just tapped it. The way he was trying to get it, he just tapped it once. It died.
and it's dead.
That's not
Oh.
ominous.
Curious.
Disconcerting at all. But you notice that on his finger, there is in fact a stone that does have a slight bright little glow to it at the end. It is also purple, but I'm not entirely sure what was up with that.
So he has something similar, but stone. That is interesting. Leah's gonna kind of turn to Mr. Red again, kind of sitting down, kind of for her meal. If you don't mind me asking, when we had met a few days ago, well, shortly before we had met, you had been tossing around a coin. May I ask, it didn't seem to have any markings on it. May I ask where you found that?
That I got from
Can't.
a...
Oh,
Hello?
no, yeah, I thought you said that I can't. Like he was just saying, no, I cannot answer that. But no, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That I can tell you I obtained from a new acquaintance in Nusu, a newly established merchant. A furry fellow, called himself Pistachio.
Pistachio.
Yes, black-furred. He was quite energetic and very, very boastful of his wares. Did
What was
ask
he selling?
a favor to, many things. Some items of interest and value, others benign, everyday. But he asked me to look into it. On returning, I believe I will do so. There has been the nasty little rumor of some less than scrupulous individuals bearing any points. Have you showed him the coin, or?
Sure, I will pull out the coin and show him. Holding it up.
Individuals who are bearing said coin as a calling card have been extorting the local merchants. More specifically, the smaller and less guarded merchants. The usual protection racket and whatnot.
Can you?
And essentially,
Sorry. Can you repeat that? I didn't quite get some of that. Like, anybody that has the coin is extorting local merchants?
the ne'er-do-wells he was talking about looked into was using that coin as a calling card. They've been extorting local merchants, specifically the small-time merchants that are tied to any large guilds. And he's going to start looking into it as soon as he gets.
All right. I'll be interested to hear of any progress. Actually, can I roll maybe a history check to see if this is something that she may have heard a bit about, like little bits about, kind of in her travels back and forth?
Go ahead.
Yeah, just history.
Yeah, history's good.
Okay. 17.
All right, with that, you can recall plenty of times certain individuals and organizations have tried and done this kind of extortion for protection, be it from normal merchants, farmers, other businesses, simple people trying to do their job. But you've never heard of one who uses a blank silver coin as a calling card.
Okay. Does not sound familiar. Like the protection racket.
No,
yes.
so this one, the bracket, yeah, no, you know this game, and you've had to see it, played a few times, but no one has ever used this particular. So this is someone either relatively new or someone very wealthy.
All right. Interesting calling card. Seems something to be wary of. Can potentially be bad for the people as well as, well, bad for business.
Indeed. But I'll be looking into it when I get back. As I had, well, gave my word to my new people and new business.
So is Mr. Red requesting that I give the coin back?
Nope, he just lets you know where he got it and why he had it, and letting you know to be
Okay.
careful when and if you do show it off. Though
Yeah.
he did pull out a new looking pipe that has some interesting ornaments on it. It's a wooden pipe, but it has carvings of a dragon on it. It's odd, winged, long, interestingly scaled.
Interesting. Does it seem to be...
Sorry. This is when you asked what he sold, he essentially gestures to the pipe.
Okay. Interesting craftsmanship. You happy with your purchase?
If I get a chance to show you how it works, I think you'll see why I'm very happy.
Kind of cocking your head to the side, seemingly thinking that this likely has some ulterior purpose as well.
And as he's finishing up the meal, you see his head immediately snap up in attention.
Did we want to check in with either of the other two before we kind of get to the end of the meal?
Who did you want to? Did you guys want to check it?
Just watching whoever you bring me around to.
I think Kaylin will start to introduce people and point to them like, that's Mr. Blue, that's Mr. Black, that's Mr. Brown.
Okay. I see.
That's Min.
Yep. She's going to go around and start introducing them, and then she's going to sit down and pull up a plate and start piling on breakfast food for her. And then she's going to get another plate and pile on breakfast food for Nashoni.
Mm-hmm.
And this is breakfast. But what they call breakfast food.
I have breakfast.
Is every day a feast day?
From what I've seen with them, yes.
My goodness. No wonder they're all so big.
Kaylin will nod. And with the food that they make and how it tastes,
And I have noticed in other villages, many of them are, and she'll pat her tummy.
Yeah. Kaylin will nod her head in understanding.
And she'll smile, but thank her for the food. This looks wonderful. And immediately set to chowing down.
Kaylin will look towards Mr. Blue and Mr. Green, because there's been something that's been bugging her since the day before that she wants to ask them. And especially if they're going by themselves. She's going to look to them and go, I have a question, or I guess yesterday, after, and she'll motion to like the scars on her arm and her face, after all this happened, you said that I commune? What does that mean?
And Mr. Green and Mr. Blue are both looking at each other. And that's when Mr. Green will take over. So how much do you know what happened to you? Besides what you think we said, which was that you communed. How much did they tell you? Did they tell you anything? Did they just tell you to feel it out?
I know that
that last part was said with like audible mockery.
Kayla does not pick up on it. I know that I bonded with the Guardian yesterday. We talked, but I don't... Is that what you mean by commune?
No. The talking could have been done by most people if they just, focus, know how to. How do I put this? You skip the line that most people wait a lot of years.
There's a line?
You cut in line.
It is. Kind of. No one's going to get mad at you for this. I can promise you that. They're probably going to high five you every chance they get, just because I don't think this is something that happens a lot for anyone you happen to tell or can recognize what's happened. But yeah. No, you kind of cut the line, which is actually really impressive.
So what did I cut the line for?
And he's then just going to gesture to the ring on your finger. Here's a secret. Normally only, and he points to Nishoni and then to Mr. Black, only those two should be able to wear those and have them work. But now you can too. The fact that they're working for the rest of the mooks just tells me how, I don't want to say powerful, but no, yeah, the one in charge was definitely behind this.
The one in charge?
How do I say this without being insulted? Or being insulting? I just keep coming up with new ways to make it worse. That bastard with all the faces.
Oh. She's gonna turn towards Nishoni. I'm sorry if I cut in line before you for this.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, you didn't. I think she was there first, but there are plenty of people. But you don't gotta worry. Like I said, no one's gonna blame you for it. Might high five you a couple times, but no, you'll be fine. Just remember you're an Omanawi now, and you're probably going to be named a dragon, which, depending on how you feel about responsibility and certain jobs you got to do for the world, island, they're going to ask you to fix shit. I'm gonna be honest.
Kaylin opens her mouth to speak, but then looks over towards Leah and remembers the conversation they had like 5 minutes ago. And shuts her mouth.
Yeah.
And just nods.
Nishoni, you will immediately recognize the two words he said with an odd bit of... it's an odd phrase of both respect but mockery at the same time. It's an odd combination you've heard separately but never quite so well woven together.
Oh.
Yeah, now, Anomanawi, which is both you, your mother, and very few people who have found a way to connect with the spirit. But a Durakra, that's another word for druid.
Ah.
Druid.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
So
I
he
am,
essentially
so...
Yeah.
Doesn't seem
So
like
he
much
called-
of an insult.
More the way he said it than he didn't change the actual word, but you could tell that he was saying the word with insult. But then when he said he pointed to the bird man sitting just 2 seats down from you, black wings, well armored, seems to be eating patiently and very happily, enjoying this food.
Mm-hmm.
Something about you and him being something about you two supposedly being the only two that could work with whatever that ring was that they seem to be handing out to everyone else.
Well, we're also kind of animal humanoids. The only ones in the group.
It could also be that you're both druids. I thought he was a
Yeah.
cleric, but
Well, that's the thing. He said normally it should only be you two. So whether that means only the animal folk, or maybe only specific kind of magic casters, or maybe it just meant druids and clerics, or who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah, Kaylin will
Interesting.
say nothing else because now she's scared that she's going to reveal the secret that they told her not to share with anyone. So she is instead just going to open up her journal and start writing down everything that Mr. Green had just told her.
I look forward to reading another one of Kaylin's diary entries because those are cute.
Yeah.
I need to get the next one together now that it's been a day.
Yeah, no. This day has gone a lot way faster than the last one. Oh, but this you do see from Mr. Red, who does immediately jump up out of his seat when he got that weird kind of glazed over look, which actually you'd recognize. This is someone who's being messaged via magic. And whatever this is has caused him a bit of discomfort across his face, because he very quickly gets up and gives apologies to everyone and says, "But here I think we'll need to split off. But we are literally next to the road, going down south, to New Serene, Leme to the east, Hitman to the west." And you've all told me where you'll be going in case I may need your services again, and if you are open to new happenstance in New Serene has called my attention more directly. Mr. Purple, you need to get going. And he does walk out the front door, leaves it open, and you see him pull out that same pipe. And as he seems to immediately light it, take in an extremely large breath and blow. And this smoke is oddly more kind of reddish cloud, thick. It doesn't rise, it falls, and it swirls around them, and it condenses. And before your eyes, both of them step onto this cloud of smoke and begin to fly away.
Oh wow.
you miss.
The best.
Yeah, no, he straight up has a nimbus right now with that's what the dragon pipe gave him.
Nice. But no, yeah,
It's
that's
a temporary magic carpet, essentially.
It's a neat trick, neat thing to have.
I mean, he told you where he got it from.
Yeah. I'm also sure it cost a pretty penny.
It depends on how smart that seller was. You know, some people, they'll haggle for things they have no idea what it's worth. Other people, they know the value and they will gouge out as much as they can.
Every single penny that they can go get it for.
Oh, yeah. But no, with that, you are left alone to possibly finish your meal or continue discussing with your makeshift party, as they all seem to look around and understand what this is like. The last time you'll probably seeing most of the people here until or unless they meet again at their discussed destinations. They all seem to be grouping up into the sub parties that they seem to be going. Mr. Brown and Ming seem to be ready to go toward Hickman, while Mr. Green, Blue, and Black seem to be discussing plans to head towards St. Matthias.
Neat. This is when we all start singing the parted glass.
Yes. I think this may be a good time to wrap up, and then we can pick up next time with kind of final goodbyes with.
Oh yeah, next we can pick up with final goodbyes or any last minute questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah.
Sounds
Alright.
good.
Glad I checked in
This
with
has been
Mr.
fun.
That could be some very useful info. Yeah, this has been fun. Nice to meet your new character.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now that she's finally been able to interact with you guys a bit more, I think this could be really fun. I'm so glad we have an objective too. We know where we're going. We know what we gotta do.
No,
Generally.
we're going. How we do that seems like that's
Yeah.
still got more to figure that out. But we have leads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Oh yeah, no, plenty of leads, red herrings in there, and also the fact that there are like several background plot threads and world events that are just happening. So, well,
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I'm excited
we'll
to
see what happens.
find more of them next time.
Been fun.
Can't wait till we get to
And that
her
will
uncle.
be all.
This is gonna be fun.
Oof,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, that's gonna be. Depending on how long it takes for you to ever get back there, depending
Mhm.
if that's where even you meet him, because High Chief, he's free to go wherever the fuck he wants if he feels like going anywhere at all.
Very true.
You know,
And
That,
I'm
like,
more
only
interested to see.
is on the island are not open to him freely, and that's all the settlements.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see how he receives you guys. More so than me, because I know what he thinks of me, but I want to know what he thinks of you guys.
Part of that will depend on our interactions with him and kind of also our interactions with you. What we think of you at that point. And,
A lot
what he
of it will actually be how you guys interact with the island and the other natives, because he's High King. Everything that happens in the island is reported to him if it's deemed noteworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he hears about some people helping out some of the natives, some of the villages, if he hears about some people wiping out some natives for whatever reason, he'll likely know.
Heck yeah. I'm very excited then for next week. So I'll let you guys go. And thank you for hosting, Styler. This has been really fun. I've really enjoyed this episode.
And I'm glad you like it. If things had not gotten so weird, we would have been in an entirely different place. This is actually like the beginning of an Act 2. And yeah, no, this would have been Act 2's beginning. Because Act 1, you guys have already missed a small battlefield skirmish of a war.
Ooh.
But it's fine. You guys may or may not run into like the remnants and or aftermath of it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try not to die next time, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really hope not. That would have been so much. I had characters. Everybody you met in that party would have been people you would have met if you finished like the journey from one side to the other. So like just to say hello, you would have just picked up all these people just to say
One point or
hi.
another. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
that goes.
at one point. But yeah, no, I mean, they're having their own adventures. Your old characters are doing their own thing. All next time.
All right. Thanks for hosting, Siler, and you guys have a great rest of your week.
You too.
Good night.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you around. See you Monday.
All right.